From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your Evening Update.
Well, we made it through the heat wave, at least for the inland areas and for the Trinity County area, right? Of course, the coast didn't really feel the impacts of the heat wave. Still seeing a bit of that marine layer. This is looking at Elk Country, Trinidad here this evening. Still looking at a lot of the low clouds and the fog kind of sticking around in many areas here. We take a look at Crescent City out of the Battery Point area. Look at kind of the low deck of clouds out there, as well as kind of what we call the stratus, low stratus deck. And that's kind of sticking around too. But overall, when we look at the overall trend here, it doesn't look like it's going to be quite as hot for next week, but still looking at temperatures around or just above average for this time of the year, so still quite warm for the inland areas and for the mountains. And there's also a chance for some showers, maybe some thunderstorms in extreme eastern Trinity County, which we'll get into here in a second, but no major heat waves. Yes, it's going to be warm this next week, but it's not going to be quite as warm as what we saw this past heat wave. So for tonight, we're going to be looking at temperatures dropping down to the upper 50s for the inland areas, but dropping down for the daytime highs, only the low 90s. So again, not quite as hot as it has been. Now for the coast, you're looking at mainly cloudy skies. Of course, the fog kind of sticking around with those temperatures in the low 60s. Now for Trinity County, tonight will drop down probably some in the low 60s. There are those clouds coming in tonight. Those could produce a few showers, maybe an isolated thunderstorm. Again, we'll get to that in a second, but it's going to be a hot day again for your Monday. Again, just not as hot as it has been. We're breaking away from the triple digits for now, but you can see it's going to be very close to that for Tuesday, Wednesday, and right around 100 by the end of next week, and then maybe another slight drop. But you see how we're just kind of leveling it out somewhere in the upper 90s for the next 7 days. So it's going to be hot, just again, not as hot as it has been. So that heat is kind of pushing down to the south and east. But what's going to happen as we go to the end of this week and into next weekend, what we're going to see happen is that heat is going to expand northward. And that's going to expand and cause our temperatures to stay fairly warm. But as long as we've got this trough of low pressure right here preventing that heat from building on top of us, our temperatures aren't going to get quite as warm as they could. So we at least can have that. Now the monsoon moisture has worked its way in today, and that's the added cloud cover that we have seen. Now that monsoon moisture is also going to be responsible for the potential for some thunderstorms. In fact, the severe outlook has a lot of Northern California in green, indicating there is a chance for some thunderstorms in the forecast, and it does include the eastern portions of Trinity County. Now, I think it's going to just barely touch eastern Trinity County. You'll see that here. As we go into tonight about 9, 10 o'clock, places like Trinity Center, Weaverville, Hayfork, not out of the question for some of that activity come over you. So maybe a shower, maybe even you'll hear some rumbles of thunder. Now we go into midnight tonight. You can see how most of it's off to our east. And then, of course, it dries out entirely by the time we get into Monday morning and Monday afternoon. Now, there is a bit of a concern because these are what we call high-based thunderstorms. That is, the thunderstorms are pretty high up there in the atmosphere. It's already very dry, so when you see those showers, a lot of times they tend to evaporate before reaching the ground. So dry lightning could be a concern with these thunderstorms, not only over us, but for our neighbors off to the east as well. We'll have to track that very closely. Then we go into your Tuesday, and it looks like we're still looking at the mainly cloudy skies along the coast here, but sunny skies elsewhere. Here's your marina alerts out there, a gale watch here until 2 a.m. on Tuesday. That is for the immediate coast here of Crescent City, and not to mention Eureka and down to the south. On the coast of southern Humboldt County, there's a gale watch that expires at 2 a.m. on Tuesday. Now, take a look at the wave heights, and we take you through the day on Monday. We're really not seeing much change, basically between 6 and 8 feet as you start heading out to sea. And then we take you into your Tuesday. It probably won't change much after that. Maybe actually getting a little bit higher as we go into Tuesday. There's a marine forecast for tomorrow. Those winds, that is, will be from the north at about 10 to 20 knots. Waves from the northwest is 7 feet at 7 seconds. And there, of course, is that small craft advisory I was telling you about. All right, here's what we have in store for us tonight. This is where we could see showers and thunderstorms here. Elsewhere, it should remain dry. Hoopa, 56, 55 for Willow Creek tonight, and in the mid-50s out along the coast. Tomorrow, that chance for thunderstorm is pretty much gone, and we're looking at sunny skies again, fairly warm, but again, not as warm as it has been. 93 Hoopa, 95 for Willow Creek, and temperatures in the low to mid-60s for the coast. So there's your 7-day forecast for the Crescent City, and temperatures staying in the low to mid-60s, partly to mostly cloudy skies, no big surprises, no big shockers there. There you can see for Hoopa, nice low to mid 90s. That's what we're looking here for the next 7 days. A bit warmer though for Weaverville with temperatures upper 90s to about 100 degrees. There's your 7-day forecast for Eureka, low 60s pretty much for the next 7 days under partly to mostly cloudy skies, and we don't anticipate any rain.